passive flexibility and active flexibility. Which one is best? Hello everyone, welcome to my video. I am very happy to be back with you. So as you know, we are diving into the topic called passive flexibility and active flexibility. So by the end of this video, you'll get to know the proper difference between passive and active flexibility and which one is best to improve your flexibility. So before we move into that, first we need to know two things. One is static stretch and the another is dynamic stretch, which is, you can say, the first half. As you can see in this video, static stretch means where we hold a position to stretch a specific muscle for a prolonged period to achieve deep elongated stretch and increase flexibility. And dynamic stretch involves active movements like leg kick, arm rotation or spinal movement that can stretch muscles while moving through a range of motion. It's often used as a warm-up before exercise to increase blood flow. So now let's move on to passive flexibility. So passive flexibility refers to a range of motion in a joint or a series of joint where an external force is applied, such as gravity, object, strap, or you can say just a partner or physiotherapist is helping you out. So passive means external force to stretch a particular muscle for a period rather than relying on our own muscle strength and control. So let's see this with an example. So as I'm using something external as a chair, and let's suppose I want to stretch my hamstring muscle using this chair and with the help of gravity. So I'm just placing one leg on the chair and I'm just bending forward. So in this I'm using an external object and I'm using my gravity as well to stretch my hamstring muscle. So this will be called as a passive flexibility. And one more important thing in passive flexibility is that in this the dynamic movement is very limited. Because of something external, we are already in a stretched position. So in active flexibility, we have to stretch the muscle using our own muscle strength and control. We cannot use any kind of external force such as gravity and object. So let's assume same example we'll take. I have to stretch my hamstring muscle. So I will not use any kind of external object. I will just hold my leg up. So in this case, I'm contracting my quadricep muscle to get the stretch at my hamstring. So as my leg is extending, my quadriceps will be the agonist and hamstring will be the antagonist. So I'm holding this pose. So this will be a static active flexibility. On the other hand, so I'm moving my leg. So this will be the dynamic active flexibility. So in both the cases, we are not using any kind of external force. I know you might feel this little complicated, but let's see this with another example. So as you can see, I am kneeling down and suppose I want to stretch my quadriceps with the help of gravity. So I will keep pushing my hip down, down and down. So this is a proper example of passive flexibility because I am not actively contracting any of my muscles. In passive flexibility, we keep our muscles relaxed. So the same example, if I want to stretch my quadriceps in the active form, then it will look like. So in this, I am actively contracting my quadriceps and pushing my toes down in order to feel the stretch at my quadriceps. So this is a proper example of a dynamic active flexibility. And when you hold, so this is an example of static active flexibility. So you are pushing your toes down and actively contracting your quadriceps. So this is a form of active flexibility. So at this stage, you might ask yourself which one is best, active or passive, to increase my flexibility. So see, combining these two techniques will always brings the best result. But your active range of motion depends upon your passive range of motion. The better you are at passive flexibility, the best you can be at active flexibility. Again, the better you are at passive flexibility, the best you can be at active flexibility. And if you are a complete beginner, I would suggest just do a dynamic warm-up, then start with some passive flexibility for some days till your flexibility increases. Then after you can add some of the active flexibility. Personally, I would like to do 50-50%, some kind of passive flexibility and some kind of active flexibility. So now we got the clear idea about passive and active flexibility. And if you have some doubts or opinions, leave that in the comment box to have a chat. And if this video really helped you, so leave a thumbs up and see you in the next video. Till then, stay tuned.